MoucheronQuipet or something like that. I don't know.
I believe that's pretty close. We did some research earlier.
Oh, and we're off. JJBlu is using the most adorable blue girl. I don't know what she's from. With Moucheron going with our vanilla sprite.
Classic Link. Looks like they're both going to see the uncle.
Yep. Also going with a nice little poultry strat there to get their first kill. I have not seen this before, so I will definitely be trying this one out.
Just robbing the dead uncle.
Here, have my pocket change.
He doesn't need it anymore.
Oh!
Okay, very nice find. That really opens things up very early.
So I imagine we'll see both of them going straight off to Kakariko at this point.
Absolutely.
Because who wouldn't with the flute?
You get a flute and all those potential goodies. Oh, quick map check. I think Desert was blue pendant and the other two are crystals, but I couldn't see the numbers.
I believe one of them was 4. Not that it matters.
Oh yeah, they're red now, that's right.
Yeah, that visual distinction really does make things easier.
It really does. When I'd be updating my own trackers, it'd probably take minutes just to look at the numbers and get those right for 5 and 6.
Also, having your first tree pull as 4 bombs is
very awesome.
Absolutely. Oh, we see JJBlu using a bomb to speed things up with those bushes.
I have not seen that before either.
On the other hand, they have enough bombs that it's not that much of a waste, really.
It's nice. It's nice to not worry about bombs in early game. There's very few things more frustrating than having no bombs.
Yeah. So, other than that flute, we haven't really seen much in the way of items so far. Then again, we haven't been to a lot of locations yet, and we won't get a good idea of what we're looking at as a seed until they at least get through Kakariko.
Yeah, Kakariko sometimes really open things up, almost too much, but with all those chests, it's usually pretty good odds of at least one thing.
Yeah, those rare seeds where you get through Kakariko and you still have nothing, that's when you start panicking.
Absolutely, because then you have to go to Zora or something, and no one wants to do that.
Well, usually you'll at least go over to Swamp and Moldorm Cave, because there's another 7 items before you really have to panic. But being forced to mine for Zora when you don't even have gloves yet is just the worst.
So pretty sad Blind's HUD, it seems.
Yeah.
A couple hearts and money.
But not much money. We're still under 100.
At least enough for a bottle guy, I hope.
Yeah. So far we've seen basically no route variation. Moucheron is maybe 5 seconds ahead, but they're doing the exact same thing. And we have a B.
That's good to get now. They can practically full clear Kakariko with that bottle and a little more money.
Yep. They do have the required money now.
And it was worthless.
Pretty much. So Moucheron going over for some swag duck. JJBlu about to continue through Kakariko and then changing their mind.
Sometimes you forget when you get those items real early that you have them. Alright, now we got a fly bird. You can go anywhere. Chicken lady not keeping anything from us. So
Nope.
far, we're very, very basic in our items. But we can fly anywhere we want.
Yep. Well, having the ocarina means... Oh, and there's the flippers.
Speaking of travel, we have 2 of our 3 travel items. So we can swim and fly. But only walk. We can't run yet.
Nope. So they'll be able to get around the overworld fairly quickly. Just, can't do much yet.
Can't do much at all. We can bomb some things.
Okay, just a Pizza Hut in the library, so
I'm feeling
doubt
this
we'll
might have something. I just have a feeling.
Oh, and Moucheron taking the gamble.
I like doing that
And
gamble.
so is...
I feel like when you don't have boots, it's almost the same as having to walk there and come back if there is something.
Well, usually you don't come back. That's where you save and quit back to Link's house.
Right. But it wasn't worth it anyway.
But today they have the... And I think this is probably where we'll start seeing some divergence. Moucheron heading to a desert to go check Agnes Cave, whereas JJBlu is heading up to the Ice Cave.
Ice Cave's one of those things you just gotta do at some point, so might as well get it done.
Yeah, it is a bit out of the way, but if you're able to fly to it, it's not nearly as bad. Moucheron just getting some rupees. JJBlu also just getting some rupees. So no advantage yet.
Very stubborn game so far. So really that leaves Sahasrara and the Zora area, I believe. I guess they can fly to Death Mountain, but only a couple things they could get there at this point.
No, there's still...
Oh, I always forget South. Yeah, this part.
Yeah, between Swamp and the mini Moldorm Cave, we've got a decent chance of items, because that's 7. That's not a small amount.
Not at all.
But I would not be surprised if after they do those 2, they hop into the water and swim up to Zora. At least that's what I would do. Because Zora is now 4 items instead of 2 because of the waterfall thing, which I guess isn't exactly new at this point, but...
It does make it a little bit more of a lucrative trip than it used to be.
Absolutely.
Alright, Moldorm with some bombs.
Or B.
And one happy bee. Let's see what he can do.
So optimally, it only takes 3 bombs if you're lucky. But
wow.
Ooh. That is one sad mini Moldorm party cave.
Really
Not much partying to do here.
But at least the bee got some good use. It's always a good sign.
Yep. It's always nice when you can actually use the bee for something. Okay. And instead, we are going up to Death Mountain.
Yeah, they're pretty low on money, at least for the Zora part of the check, so I could see why you'd maybe want to wait. Hope to pick up a hundo or a 300.
On the other hand, they're only capable of getting one item up here, so personally, I don't think it would be worth it. And there's a 300 on Spectacle Rock, but you can't get that.
Just taunting them.
No, at this point, I would definitely go get either Waterfall or Sahasrahla. But we have JJBlu heading in to go pick up the old man in the dark.
A little less fun when you don't have a sword to make sparkle for you.
Boomerang works fine, and honestly, the route is pretty simple. I've basically just memorized it. I never bother pulling out my sword at all. Moucheron here, heading up to Hobo for once not having to fake Flipper. Anyway, we'll see if JJBlu's sequence break here pays off. And just a stale old soggy piece of heart.
That's all he had to offer. So I'm guessing Sahash is their next stop. Hope for the best. Maybe they'll hop into Eastern, clear out a few chests real quick.
Possible. Eastern has enough items that it's not a bad idea at all. JJBlu buying some bombs.
As a bonus, we get to learn that Misery Mire is the green pendant. Oh, there we go.
There's our gloves. At this point, I imagine he's heading back to Sanctuary.
To back of escape, probably.
Yep.
Yeah, 12 minutes and then finally make some progress.
Yep. So even with the lack of money for Zora, I'm a little surprised that neither of them tried Waterfall.
With the warp, the waterfall part is pretty quick, and you can at least get a peek at the ledge too.
Yep, and they have the flippers. They could get the ledge item if it were something. Moucheron finding that lovely little mirror, and though still no Dark World access, so it's not as good as it could be.
Not great. You could. Hera's open
but
now. And
Hera is open.
JJBlu going the Hyrule dungeon route. So decent clear, couple chests. Not pleasant to do, but
it's definitely a pain in the butt without a proper method of attack. With bombs as your only weapon, it takes a while. At least they have the boomerang for stunning, so that bombs aren't the worst.
Yeah, you don't waste them. He did stop and pick up some at a shop, so
probably part of this plan. Moucheron, meanwhile, grabbing the Houlihan room, and he will be going up to Zora.
Good idea at this point. Your options are very limited. Oh, and look at that. The waterfall would have paid off anyway.
And checking the free potion. Let's see what it is. Green. Not too bad.
No, not at all. But if you never find half magic, you always run out the most inopportune times. Just some arrows on the ledge. And
oh, and there's Bombos. Bombos in the prison cell. That could be useful.
With no weapon, I mean, it could be.
Actually, no, you can't use a medallion without a sword.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
They got around this in Swordless by allowing you to use it on the medallion squares, but that's the only spot.
Like they should have listened to you and gone to Zora, because he just spit up the moon pearl.
Woo! Excuse me. That was probably excessive.
So now we have still about the same amount of options, but finding that moon pearl is always a very good relief.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's though, considering their item stash so far, it really doesn't open much up. Not yet.
Yeah,
They
we're looking
still
for
don't
either
have... Still no Dark World access. And they can't even go fight Aga because nobody wants to do Aga in the dark.
No, I wouldn't wish that upon my enemies. They'd love to find a hammer, or even a hookshot would be nice. Or that second glove. There's lots of things that would open this up for them, but there's a lot of things.
Yep. JJBlu heading in to get his gloves. And, but definitely Moucheron's pathing has put him a fair bit ahead at this point. Not that that means much this early into the run.
Right. Even a little find here and there makes a huge change. Looks like we'll probably be seeing some Hera and Moucheron, and JJBlu's right behind him, a couple steps.
Yep. So, how do you feel about the changes in V27 so far? Feeling much difference?
I haven't had too much feel. These in personal life-wise, I haven't had a ton of time to play much since I got finished in the secondary tournament. But from what I've read and seen, it doesn't seem too different to me. Anything like major change or anything like that. What about you?
Personally, it feels a lot less trolly. V26 was very much about putting you in a lot of worst possible situations. Okay, so one of our items in Hera, which unfortunately they can't finish yet. However, having those Titan's mitts is a huge advantage.
Absolutely, that's a great find. JJBlu looks like he's going straight to Hera, and he hasn't gone to Zora to get his Moon Pearl yet. So he's going to find those gloves, but not be able to do too much with them yet.
Whereas Moucheron has found himself Dark World access at this point through... and he seems to be giving up on Hera because, understandably, it can't be finished right now, not without a sword or a hammer.
Right,
and
he's missing on 2 possible chests, but it's much more to be had using his mitts in other ways.
Yeah. And he knows only one of those can contain an item. So at this point, why not head over to the Dark World instead and get our first look at the Dark World spread. We've got 5 and 6 being Ice and Skull Woods, which are not exactly the ones you want to be 5 and 6, but oh well, it's good to know. And unfortunately, Thieves Town being a pendant and not the good one. The good one being at Mire. Basically, we don't have a very lucky spread of dungeons in this seed.
Absolutely. But with the way the seed's been treating them, it's not too surprising. Looks like they're in it for the long haul.
Yep. Our
The
first
Moucheron.
item in... Oh, okay. We found both Skullwoods items, and neither of them are something you want to be finding. Some rupees and some hearts. Where is JJ? Go ahead.
I said one thing I have noticed with V27, it seems like Skullwoods has been toned down a little bit. It's not quite the instant treasure you could never skip like it used to be in 26. But that could just be me and my very small sample size that I've seen.
Oh, absolutely. Sample size means that a lot of things are relative, but I have found V26 to be quite trolly.
So JJBlu going ahead and hopping into Eastern. Maybe you can find something.
Not having Dark World access, we'll see if that helps or hurts him by going into Eastern instead.
I get his reasoning. He doesn't want to climb Death Mountain again just for what seems to be one place in Hera. Little does he know, it's a very important find he needs in there.
Well, unless the key situation in Hera is terrible, you can almost always get 2 items from it. Or you can typically get both.
Moucheron's checking out some North Dark World with his mirror to be able to get this ledge.
Honestly, he'll be able to do most of the South Dark World right now.
Yeah, with the flippers, he can loop around. But just some bombs, unfortunately.
Well, not just the flippers. Between having the mirror and the Titan's mitts are a huge boon for Dark World exploration in terms of the number of items. JJBlu finding himself a blue tunic, which is nice, but not particularly necessary.
Moosh heading to the Village of Outcasts. Got 3 things you can find, plus the digging game, and then I'm guessing he might hop in at least to the beginning of that Red Pendant Thieves Town. But again, no weapons makes dungeons less appealing than normally.
Still, the first 4 chests in Thieves Town aren't really so bad, and you don't have to fight much to get through them. Oof.
Looks like he's not worth it for JJBlu, unfortunately.
Not really, no.
But he knows there's only one place left for him to check, and he's heading right there.
Moucheron's heading straight into Thieves. I don't know, I was surprised. I was expecting some blacksmith action. But on the other hand, this is kind of on the way, so Why not? Besides, Thieves has a very good item density as dungeons go.
Agreed. It's almost always worth it, even as a useless pendant. Had he weapon, I wouldn't even be surprised if he finished it, but unfortunately, he's got nothing.
If he had hammer, I would be surprised if he didn't.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, and there's your sword. And...
A couple happy slashes to celebrate.
Yay!
We'll see if JJBlu goes further up than Moucheron did. Nope, he's bouncing. He's out of here.
C-shaped house holding those lovely silver arrows. They're always a nice find early on.
Absolutely, they make so many bosses much quicker and less stressful.
Okay, Moucheron heading over to the digging game.
JJ opting for Mire to check the shed and checkerboard cave. Might even hop into desert too.
You know what I like about Mire?
What's
that? It often has the same weather as where I am.
Oh yeah?
It is a lovely, drizzly, overcast day today.
It's like Moucheron, following your advice, gonna do some blacksmith and chest most likely. With the mirror, it's so much faster than having to drag those things around with you.
Absolutely.
I do love myself a good frog tour, but for the sake of the runners, I'm happy they can do it quickly.
Me too.
We'll see if the blacksmiths appreciate his hard work.
And...
They do not.
Ooh, he gets -$5 for saving the blacksmith. That just sucks.
Just 50 rupees on the desert torch, which means they do not need boots to complete it.
Always nice to know. Getting boots blocked in desert is never a fun time. Moucheron going to do a chest tour, which is understandable between Stumpy and the Grove Ledge. It's worth checking those places out.
JJBlu still having to bomb all of his enemies.
Yep. And unable to complete desert. Must move on to checkerboard cave. Oh, Stumpy with the sword upgrade.
That's awesome.
Moucheron's probably liking that.
Absolutely. Village Outcast, definitely the play to make. And then heading south. So now he's in good shape. Oh, but look at that. In the checkerboard cave, JJBlu finds the hookshot, my favorite item in the game.
It is rather versatile.
You can use it to travel, you can stun enemies, kill some. There's so much it has to it. Has great range. A beautiful, beautiful item.
Yep. And you can also use it for the iframes.
Exactly. I'd say it has to be at least top 3 on most people's lists.
And Hype Cave, not so hype today. Well, with this hookshot find, we're going to be seeing very different games from both of these runners at this point.
Yep, JJ's making a beeline
Blue,
for
the
East Death Mountain.
Yep, the full East Death Mountain, because if you've got that hook shot and the mirror, you can really optimize it nicely.
Absolutely. I found in a lot of races, the thing that makes a huge difference is minimizing the amount of times you have to climb the mountain. Because the more you have to come up, the more time you just sink into walking.
Yeah, especially not having those boots means this takes a while. Oh,
Instant payoff.
JJBlu finding the bow. Definitely worth it. Though not having the sword yet kinda sucks.
It does. Alright. The mountain hype that some people call, based on our previous 2Ks, probably won't have much, but maybe it'll change.
Who knows? Maybe we're about to find the hammer. Nope.
Still a good trip, though. The bow is a good find.
Moucheron using his flippers to get around his lack of a hammer. And I imagine we'll see... Probably heading over to the pyramid first, maybe Catfish. But I imagine he'll be checking into Pod shortly.
Yeah,
Not having the bow or the hammer means he may not be able to do very much in there, but there's still the possibility of quite a lot being open even without those items.
Well, look at that on the pyramid. Moosh is making all the right choices as far as finding swords.
Yep. JJBlu still swordless, Moucheron all set for Ganon.
It's a pretty remarkable split right there. It shows how great and diverse this randomizer is.
Yeah, this is a very good seed in terms of having choices and being able to do things differently. You don't see this much variation in a seed routing very often.
JJ checks Turtle Rock, see it's a Bombos, so when they find the items, they can get in. I forgot what Meyer was.
Yeah, always nice to know that you're not going to be blocked by that, especially considering that it is a crystal. Meyer, on the other hand, being green pendant is not quite as important. Ooh, Catfish with... Okay! And Hookshot Cave having the boots.
There we go. So JJBlu's finding all the useful items, just no swords, and Moucheron's finding all the swords. JJBlu remembers to hop into Spiral Cave, which is way less annoying with those boots.
Absolutely. Not quite sure why he's not just dashing through those mold worms, because if you dash through them, they're not going to hurt you. And there's a cape. Always nice to have.
Absolutely. Won't complain.
Moucheron about to find something very nice.
Now finally, looks like JJBlu's headed towards Village Outcast. He'll probably find a sword or two along his way and be in pretty good shape to start heading into dungeons, maybe.
I imagine Moucheron is going to be taking that hook shot and heading straight up to the mountain. And we will see them swapping places as to what they've been doing for the past 15 minutes. Oh, Moucheron getting squirrel blocked. That sucks.
And those squirrels. JJ's working through his, for once, disappointing Skull Woods. He'll hop in and out real quick.
On the other hand, JJ might make up some time here on account of having those boots to get through all of these areas.
Yeah, he probably will. So I'm curious where they might try to go once they've each finished their respective spots. They're good on weapons. The hammers would be nice to have, but they can finish Eastern if they wanted. They could go into Ice Palace if they wanted.
I can see Moucheron doing Eastern because he hasn't done it yet. JJBlu will probably leave Eastern for quite a while, though.
Yeah, you don't want to instantly go back in, and I honestly can't remember how many items he found or not.
But I can absolutely see Moucheron heading over to Pod shortly and mirroring to Eastern.
Let's see, you've been very right so far.
Man, if only I could make all of the right decisions when I'm actually doing the running. I always make the worst ones. It's awful.
Same here. I'd probably be making my 4th Death Mountain climb at this point.
Yeah, Moucheron making a nice little hookshot clip. On the other hand, not going for the bomb jump. And, whoa, what the heck did JJBlu just do?
Oh, a little fancy way to get to the Kingstone.
Yeah, he kind of pushed it while facing sideways. I'm so confused.
Yeah, you can dash, or I think it's when you're charging your dash and have your sword out, it counts it as sprinting into it.
Okay.
I don't know how it works. I've done it before, but I saw someone do it and I'm like, oh neat, I think I'll do that too. And the rest was history. That's how I've learned most things in this game, I suppose.
Yeah. I haven't watched for a while, so I'm seeing a lot of new stuff that wasn't around last time I was in on this much. Moucheron heading over to Hera. Now that he has a sword.
He can get his revenge on
Are we
that.
going to finish it?
We'll see if there's another item hiding in here. It could be on Moldorm, or it could now be downstairs, it looks like.
Meanwhile, JJBlu heading into heading into Thieves in about today.
I'll be very happy. 40 minutes in, finally finding a sword.
Oh, Moucheron making very quick work of that. Ooh. So something's hiding and
Looks like JJ's opting to go ahead and finish Thieves Town.
yeah,
Not a terrible idea.
versus very common, but on account of they found and where they decided. So here's JJBlu is actually continuing his way through Thieves Town.
Yeah, I don't blame him. It's always gonna bug him not having the hammer if something's in that big chest. So we'll see if it pays off or not.
Does Blind have a blue dress just because of something JJBlu did with the palette, or is this a thing now?
She does have a blue dress. It's some sprites get a little bonkers with some of our new custom sprites. I've seen it happen a couple times. It's not intentional, if that's your question. It's a nice surprise, though.
Yeah, cute. It looks fine. Just a little confused. Moucheron heading into Eastern, and we'll probably finish it. Can't imagine him not doing so.
Yeah, and so he'll have that advantage of not double dipping, however small it is.
Oh, double dipping Eastern is actually quite a pain. Because there is quite a lot of ground you have to cover between the opening and the back half.
Mm-hmm.
Blue getting his silvers, and we'll be able to use them immediately.
I'm not sure on my Eastern item count, but finishing it will technically be a sequence break since Moucheron does not have the lamp. But if they've already found all 3 items, it's
At
irrelevant.
Moucheron's skill level, I would not worry about Moucheron not being able to do Eastern lampless.
Yeah, it's one of the slightly easier ones compared to the others. If I've managed it once, then it's pretty doable. Which I managed it by just spamming arrows and hoping for the best.
Yeah, I try and looked over the because you can pretty easily find a map where everything's lit up spiz, and then it's just memorizing where stuff is what corners you can get yourself stuck on so that you know where you're going.
Yeah, for the group stages of the secondary, I had maps pulled up for every possible dark room for all my matches, and never once had to use them. It was nice over preparation, but it turned out to not be needed. Oh,
Moucheron deciding to use his bee. Not a bad idea.
Well, some of the most bee use I've seen in a seed in a while.
Yeah. We've had 2 bees and they've both been used for something. JJBlu going to find the not-so-high cave, but very healthy cave.
Yeah, they're pretty good shape health-wise, and blue male, they shouldn't run into any problems at all.
Oh yeah, 12 hearts is definitely enough to not worry too much.
As you said, they're both very capable players. Moucheron went 4-0 in his group stage, I believe, and JJBlu was a nice 3-1, so they both did very well in the first part of this tournament.
Well, you have to advance, obviously, but Moucheron getting a pretty decent quick kill there and finding the book. I imagine that's probably going to lead him to one or both of the tablets. Or maybe to Eastern, but we've already had Eastern access for a while. So it doesn't seem Moucheron had taken advantage of that. So I'm not sure what he's doing.
Yeah, I think only JJ hopped in the desert.
Desert.
I don't think Moosh hopped in yet.
Never mind. Oh yeah, that's a thing. Bombos was in Zelda's prison cell, I believe. You know what, Ham Sandwich? I agree. Being able to play as Red would be cool.
Let's see where JJ's headed at this point.
Looks like he's gonna go finish Hera.
That's right. He did hop out early too.
Nice hook dash there.
Moucheron also heading up again, possibly to do Spike Cave?
Not without the hammer, he won't.
Oh, yeah, so that's an excellent point.
No, but he is going up to Ether Tablet.
Oh, yeah, Ether Tablet. That book. As you can see, I would often forget about Ether Tablet while playing as well.
It is something that you don't often have the resources for while you're up there. And just some rupees.
Moucheron hasn't done Hyrule Dungeon yet, so I believe that's where he's headed.
Yep. Though,
They're slowly
it
but
is...
surely converging back up with each other. I don't know what they've done.
No. I wonder if he'll try for the sewer chest. Not particularly fine without a lamp, but perfectly doable. Especially if you have the hook shot, because that makes finding the chest a lot easier.
Yeah, I would imagine he's capable. He's gonna be able to clear this much faster than JJ did, because JJ didn't have any weapons yet when he came in.
Whereas Moucheron has the boots and that lovely red sword.
That's called a misclick. I accidentally hung up on myself. I apologize.
That's why you. That's why I heard that sound. I was a little confused. I thought I might have gotten disconnected.
No, if it was all me. Noob alert 101 right here.
It's fine. We all make mistakes.
So JJBlu decided to go in Ice Palace while I was gone. We'll see if this pays off for him. He doesn't have hammer, so he cannot finish it.
There's still a possibility of an item or two even without the hammer. But, yeah. Ice Palace is never something you want to double dip into. Though, seeing as both of our competitors are doing so,
Maybe
they
it
don't
is
appear to have much choice.
Maybe we're wrong. I mean, neither of them hopped in the pod yet, which, though they couldn't finish, it's still, they could get almost all the items.
Yeah, I'm actually rather surprised they're both picking ice over pod, considering that you can absolutely do everything in pod right now except for fight the boss. All of the other items are accessible, whereas ice, you have to go through quite a lengthy bit of traveling to get down to the lower part. And then with the possibility of maybe only finding one of the items in here. And ice doesn't exactly have a lot of items for how long it is.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. It's not something I would do, but then again, I'm out of the tournament and they are not, so maybe it'll pay off. We'll see.
We shall see.
Should they have to double dip the plus size, it would most likely be in go mode, so they'd be able to zoom in somewhat quickly, but it's still not ideal.
No, considering how long it's taken just for JJBlu to get down to the part where he can actually find some chests, I personally don't think it's worth it. Whereas,
well, as we were saying, JJBlu finds the hammer in the Iceman room.
Or
so...
that could happen, and I would have been extremely wrong.
What a find and gamble that both of them are making. It's pretty insane.
Yep. Moucheron having a little trouble with the bomb jump here. JJBlu, it looks like, is going to full clear ice.
Yeah, might as well. Finding that hammer is gotta be a huge relief. You know you can finish it. You have bombos, you're in good shape.
Yeah. But you're not in go mode yet, so might as well keep searching. They still need both ice and fire rods, as well as Samaria.
Quite a bit left on the table.
Except for, finding the fire rod. Wow, okay, so...
Big.
Yeah, there's 2 of Ice Palace's 3 items, and they're already amazing. So both of them definitely made the right call there.
That's almost the crazier part, is that they both decided to make this gamble. They both can be very happy.
Because Ice has 3 items and takes forever, whereas Pod has 5 items and isn't so bad, and doesn't require a huge amount of backtracking if you have to double dip. But Ice Palace is freaking loaded. It's crazy. So crazy.
Let's see if we can go 3 for 3. Moucheron went back to the start. I don't know if that was intentional. I guess it was. Oh, he hasn't picked up his hammer yet.
Weird though, because the hammer is in the big chest, so I would have
Looking
expected
at chat,
him to
I think the way he used his keys, I think he was either stuck or had to backtrack a ton.
Yeah, I've been paying more attention to JJ right now, so I didn't know exactly how the key situation worked out.
JJ heading to Buddy Cold Stare with plenty of magic, plenty of hearts, a tempered sword, and a fire rod. He should have no problemo at all.
Nope. So he's gonna pull out Bombos there to get a few fire rod shots in, probably. That being said, if you know the fast strat with the tempered sword, which I still can't do, I still mistime the gosh darn spin.
What happens to me is just what happened to JJ. I'm all lined up, I got it charged, and then here comes stupid ice cube out of the sky to ruin everything.
Yeah, JJ going to keep his distance and make use of his fire rod. Not as well as could be, though. Okay, we're good.
A little close, we pull it off. I'm all for being as safe as possible. It's much easier to buy a potion than it is to travel all the way back down the cold stair if you do die.
Yeah. That was a little close because JJ was 1 hit from death there.
Moucheron with the frustration, finding the hammer would have saved him a backtrack.
Yep.
Alright, well now surely they'll be heading straight to pod.
No. We're going to buy some more potions, which is understandable. I mean, they have tons of money, and they're traveling right now anyway, so now would be the time to do it.
Yeah, I agree. With the flute, and if you're on your way, it's a very short stop. He did have to unceremoniously dump his bee out to the poor witch who's now stuck with him, but it's probably better in the end that he gets some yummy juice instead.
Moucheron's just a little bit annoyed by finding that fire rod there.
Yeah, it looks like the biggest difference now is him having to mirror out of ice and go back down. But
Yeah, that was several minutes of time sink that you really couldn't afford in a race this close.
JJ's gonna go do the basement of Hera now that he found that fire rod. Get that off his conscience so he doesn't have to think about it and worry about it all race long.
True. And personally, it's one item and so far out of the way that I probably wouldn't bother, but again, I've been proven horribly wrong by Ice Palace this seed, so who knows? Oh, plus there's the fact that we still don't have a lamp, and pod dark rooms kind of suck.
They do. I can handle the maze, but I've never really tried the turtle room. Yeah, I don't know what what JJ has managed to do right now, but somehow he used a cape infinitely without draining magic.
Yeah, I don't know how that happened. If you put on a wall, the cape doesn't drain. Huh, interesting. I will keep that in mind.
And we're learning a lot today in this race.
That will definitely help me because there are several occasions where I've gotten myself killed in that room. JJ heading for Spike Cave. Meanwhile, Moucheron still in Ice Palace. Looks like he's gonna catch some fairies, which is totally understandable. And just a bomb upgrade.
So at this point, our guys, we're looking for Ice Rod, and we're looking for Cane of Samaria.
I still don't know why pod hasn't been done yet. Now I'm just confused.
Yeah, I would have gone there even before coming up here to Hera Basement and Spike Cave. Now it looks like he's going to finish Skullwoods with that fire rod, even though he's found both items.
Okay, I don't know. Is there something new that I've missed? Is there a reason they're both skipping pod?
I can't think of it. I can see finishing Skull. It's quick. You got to do it at some point, but I don't know. There's so much you could find at pod at this point, and there's not many other places they haven't checked. Yeah, he's missing lamp.
True.
So maybe he might not be comfortable with the dark rooms, which is totally understandable. So might as well do things you can do and can find before you force yourself to try a dark room.
Which makes sense. I still need a I still need a map to go through the dark maze. I can't do it completely blind.
Yeah, same here. I can manage that with a map, but if you want to try to finish it, though, those turtle rooms can be rough. Though they do have the fire rod, it can light that lamp. So
they have fire rod. Oh, JJ getting grabbed. But they have fire rod. They have bombos, which can just murderize those turtles. So
yeah, Moucheron doing the same thing. It looks like. Though they've already found both items in Skullwoods, so they're not going to find the lamp here.
Yeah. On the other hand, Crystals 5 and 6.
That's a good.
Is probably what they're going for right now. And that's 2 items, which is not nothing. Plus, there's the fact that, they are crystals. So I get that.
Yeah, I agree. Plus, Skull is pretty fast to finish, assuming you don't get grabbed by the Wall Master.
Yep. And Mothula is a pushover with Tempered Sword.
So I'm thinking maybe he'll do his Pyramid Fairy, and then they'll head over to Pod. That would make sense to me.
Yeah, makes sense. And those would be, they're close together enough, it makes sense to put them like that.
Gonna get our pedestal check though.
No, we're not.
Oh no, we're not, because it can't be Kane, and
And
well,
JJBlu doesn't even have the book yet.
oh yeah, he doesn't have the book yet. And the book is technically lamp locked, so I don't think Ice Rod could be on pedestal either. Because he came from Armos Knights, I believe.
Yeah. Plus, with yeah, the lamp can't be on the pedestal because, and neither can Samaria, because both of those are required for Meyer.
Yeah.
That does leave Ice Rod a possibility, as always.
It could, yeah. JJBlu looked like he's going for Swamp instead of Pyramid Fairy or Pod. Oh, just
and
3 bombs.
triple boom.
So we might get some divergence here. Can't imagine they'll both go to Swamp.
No, they are both going to Swamp.
Alright. I would have checked Fat Fairy first, but, you know.
Well,
they're the runners still in the
Mushroom-
tournament, and I'm not.
True. And here's the thing.
Oh, Moucheron is gonna
Swamp
go up.
is a lot of items. Swamp is 5 items. 5 items and a crystal does beat 2 items in terms of worth checking.
Yeah, it looks like, okay, maybe Musha is gonna go Pyramid Pod, so some divergence will be fun.
Oh, sorry, I got that wrong. Swamp is 6 items. Well, we'll see if the Fat Fairy is holding anything. Moucheron having some fun with a quick zip there. And we have Ether and 5 arrows.
Well, she was holding something.
Does anyone... Actually, Meyer's not required, so... Probably don't need any more medallions.
Yeah, I can't see what it is.
Moucheron is going towards Pod now. So far, our competitors still need to find the Ice Rod and Samaria, and that's about it. Nothing else is really required, as far as we know.
2 items notoriously difficult to find at times, especially that blasted Ice Rod.
Ice Rod's only hard to find when you don't need it. Or when you do need it.
That's right. The game will give it to you early, which probably when you need to go into like a pendant Turtle Rock or something like that.
And then you're like, I don't want to do that. Oh, and yes, technically lamp is still required. JJBlu, not finding much in Swamp so far.
Okay, maybe these chests will have something nice. There's something we could
Okay.
use. That guy's pretty useful sometimes. The Cane of Samaria. Yes, even though I am a wrestling fan, I cannot do that cane call justice, so I'll leave that to the pros who have mastered it.
Yeah. Oh no, I know nothing about wrestling. I knew John Cena as a meme long before I found out he was a wrestler.
I found that happens with people too. Long story short, Kane was the guy who showed up as a surprise many years ago, and the commentators, they knew of him, and so he's this mysterious guy, and he shows up and wrecks house, and the commentators, of course, go crazy in classic wrestling style.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, there's plenty more to it, but that's not why we're here.
No.
Now we see that ice rod for Moucheron, which could be anywhere. JJBlu coming back into Swamp. I guess he skipped the left side.
Yep.
So this could be a huge time difference if Moucheron gets that ice rod not in Swamp, because there's a lot of time that JJ is committed to this very long dungeon to full clear.
Yeah, it is slightly faster if you do it. If you do left-sided as part of your first go-through, because then you can use the keys in a more advantageous way. John Cena is more meme than wrestler. At this point, I agree.
But I mean, once you're a meme, you've truly made it, I think.
Absolutely. Oh, Moosh finding the butter sword in the dark.
JJBlu insulted with the single green rupee of his final item in Swamp.
Harsh. And there's a compass nobody cares about. Moosh knows exactly where he's going, clearly. We do not know what item he got from that second chest. But it was not the cane. I mean, the rod. Well,
Wow,
it wasn't
okay.
the cane of burn either.
The all-important cane of burner.
Yes. You know, can't do much without Brian.
So at this point, they're looking for the ice rod. It can't be here at... Well, I guess it can be at Helmasaur. I'm not up to date on the item count of Pod right now. But other than that, it could be almost anywhere.
Pod, I believe, has 5 items.
That's right. I don't know how many Moucheron has found total, like if Helmasaur has an item or not.
Well, if he ever goes into his menu again, which he will very shortly, to get out the hammer, we can see. Yes, Helmasaur does in fact have an item.
I will see. It could be the ice rod. Can't be the lamp. Not that they really need it at this point. This is the hardest of dark rooms, in my opinion.
Pretty much. There's still that. There's still the platform maze in T-Rock, but that's not exactly difficult. And besides, they have the lamp, so this turtle room isn't awful.
Moucheron just destroying these poor turtles with that butter sword. They did not stand a chance.
Nope.
Poor guys, they don't even know where they're going.
They are going to die. And so is Helmasaur.
Now it's interesting because after this, Moucheron could just head to Swamp himself and do the same thing. So we're back to flip-flopping each other. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, we have seen a lot of that. I think that's likely.
Because at this point, we have there's Swamp for Moucheron, but I mean, there's always Mire, which tends to be somewhat more lucrative in these recent versions. And it's a green pendant as well.
Yeah, going into Mire. Still, I don't see either of these people going into Mire until they get all of the crystals that they're able to. That being said, I do understand going with Green Pendant Mire over going into Uncompletable T-Rock.
Yeah, I think that's the choice they'll have to make in a little bit.
And that is really not a fun choice to have to make. Because either you've just completed an entire fairly long pendant dungeon for nothing, or you did most of T-Rock and then have to do most of it again.
Right, and I agree with, I like Moucheron's plan. Like you said, I would definitely, you go to Swamp, you know you can beat it. It's definitely a crystal at this point. I always like that you do what you know, as opposed to maybes and big risks.
Yeah, you do what you know you can do, and you know you have to do at some point. Yes, Swamp is faster if you don't have to full clear it. On the other hand, it's got a lot of items, so Swamp's a pretty safe bet for this point. Yeah, at this point, Sahasrahla could very well have the Ice Rod. And if Sahasrahla has the Ice Rod, that means they're going to have to go into Mire, and they still don't have the lamp, which means lampless Mire. Which is the only lampless area that I can't do. To be fair, yeah. I haven't really, gone at and tried very hard, but it just seems like such a pain, and it's so rarely needed.
Yeah, I tried once, just like, you know what, let's practice this a little bit, and it was such a pain. I was like, I would rather just look for the lamp than have to learn this. Granted, the people who do it so well make it look so easy. You just walk right over there,
Absolutely.
place a block down, and move on their way.
Nope. Have no trouble with all of the spikes and enemies in the dark rooms next.
I'm gonna guess Lamp is probably somewhere trolly. It's not that they need it, so it's probably in like Turtle Rock, and the game probably wanted you to go into Turtle Rock and then maybe find the Ice Rod and Mire to come back to Turtle Rock or something ridiculous, which is where these dark rooms and gambles can really make a big difference and help you save lots of what would be intended hunting that the game makes for you.
Yeah, intended double dips are never a fun thing. So yeah, at this point, Lamp could be basically anywhere. Ice Rod could very well be in T-Rock. But nobody wants to take that gamble. Unless they have to. Oh, the worst T-Rock I saw was the Fire Rod was in T-Rock's big chest, and I was like, what is this?
Yeah, one of my races earlier had Turtle Rock was Green Pendant, and Green Pendant was one item I can't remember what item it was we needed, but when I was going through Turtle Rock, I got the 5th item and I was like, sweet, I'm done, and I just mirrored out like no problem. And then I did a couple other checks and I was like, where is this last item? And then I realized Green Pendant and had to go all the way through it again.
Oh no.
You just get in your autopilot, you're like, alright, we're good, we're done, it's just a pendant.
Yes,
forget
they
that
have.
green matters.
They've both checked Ice Rod Cave. It is not vanilla.
Yeah, as far as Overworld goes, I don't think they've done Bombo's Tablet yet.
Yeah, I didn't see either of them do it.
But they've done most else, I think.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Moucheron went to Bombo's Tablet after this. Just because it's nearby. And
Yeah, this
Moucheron
is about
has
as
the
close
book.
as you'll get.
I expect that JJ's probably going to finish Eastern soon. Actually, probably right after this, because it's there. Moucheron not going to Bombo's Tablet.
Well, maybe he is after all.
Or I think he just remembered that and decided to do so. Yep. Like, where am I going? Oh, wait. Right back here.
Alright, let's see. Could be something. Let's get a drum roll.
I'm out of drum rolls.
Wah,
Oh,
wah.
nothing.
So now, Moucheron didn't finish Thieves Town, so he still has the back half of that to do.
True. And we've seen neither of them take the hammer back to do Peg Cave. So I imagine that might also be a consideration.
I think JJ did it one time when he was up the mountain.
Peg Cave?
Oh wait, no, sorry. I confuse my terms sometimes.
Yeah. JJ
I know what
did
you're
do
talking about.
Spike.
Spikes and pegs throw me off, sorry. Moucheron's doing what you said, there you go.
And we have... a heart container, which Moucheron decides, 15 hearts isn't enough. Let's just get it for fun.
Yeah, what's a couple extra steps for one more hit from a guy?
Probably Ganon. Yeah, I'm surprised Moucheron isn't going to continue through Thieves while he's there. But no, we have Moucheron making that play for T-Rock. Or wait,
He
Moucheron
might be doing
hasn't
Spike.
finished Hera. Or done Spike.
We'll see
And
what JJ's
JJ
next move
making
is.
very quick work of the rest of Eastern. And taking that book straight over to Bombo's tablet, where he's going to be unimpressed. Oh, excuse me.
Oh, bless you. Alright, okay. Let's see what Moucheron's gonna do. He might be getting crazy here. No, I think you're right, he's gonna do that basement that he hasn't done yet. Only really a few places left they can check.
Chat's got an idea, which I think might be right, that Lamp might be in desert.
It could be possible. They're still missing that item. Oh, they're saying we've already found both in desert, so.
Okay. Not that then.
I mean, it can be in any of the first. It can be in Meyer, and it can be in most of TR.
Yeah.
So it might come down. Do you, like we were saying, do we go into Turtle Rock, maybe not being able to complete it, or do you possibly waste time going into Green Pendant Meyer?
Honestly, if Meyer wasn't the green pendant, I'd say T-Rock, but with that added item, it makes Meyer that much more likely.
Moucheron, maybe.
I think
the
he's
Turtle
going
Rock
for
gamble.
it.
I agree. It's pretty remarkable that despite all these divergences, they're relatively close to each other as far as where they're at and what they have.
Yeah, right now there really isn't a clear advantage. They're both looking for the same things. They both have almost exactly the same item spread. And the same, almost the same bosses done as well. Moucheron hasn't finished Thieves, but there's no reason to, unless Thieves' big chest has not been checked, and I don't know if all of the items were found in Thieves.
So JJ's up here. Will he go ahead and head to Turtle Rock as well? All signs point to yes. Alright, so we have 2 Turtle Rocks happening. It's neat that they keep making similar choices here and there.
I bet Turtle Rock has not shown any items yet, just keys. And since they're both making the same play, Moucheron's maybe a minute ahead, but that's really about it. JJ has an extra bottle. He also finished Thieves, but other than that, I see no differences on their item cards here.
Yeah, so JJ is gonna need to make up some time somewhere. Either with some execution here and there, or maybe by the time we get to Ganon's tower.
Oh. But there we go. Moucheron's got his ice rod now, and off we go.
There we go. Well, there we are. We are in go mode. JJ right behind him. They're gonna be pretty close all the way through, so we're gonna see how this Ganon's tower goes eventually, how this Total Rock finishes up. We're in for a pretty good finish.
Yep. Moucheron's definitely got a not insignificant advantage, but at this point it's all down to how well they play.
And as chat points out, technically not real official 100% go mode without the lamp, but based on these runners' skill, I think it's safe to call it.
Yeah, at this point, neither of them is going to back out of Turtle Rock to go find the lamp. And yes, GT can be a bit of a pain when you have to conserve magic, but I don't think that's going to be too much of a problem.
Agreed. Curious where Lamp could have been now. I mean, must have been Meyer.
It seems likely at this point. Though it could be in the T-Rock middle chest that they both didn't bother with.
That is true, they both skipped that one. Moucheron making that maze look like no problem at all.
He is, however, going to open up that safety door.
I'm guessing it's because he has 4 hearts. He wants to be safe.
Understandable.
I get it. At this point, he probably has no idea what his opponent's done.
Yep. It's an extra, 10-20 seconds, but it saves a huge amount of time if you do die.
Alright, Moosh making his way to Trinex. Trinex with the butter sword, almost sad. I almost feel bad for him. He just doesn't even stand a chance. He's mowed down so quickly.
JJBlu not bothering with that safety tour, but he has more hearts, so understandable.
First stage, quick work of Trinex.
And
he's down.
Trinex is dead before he even gets out of his L. Good job.
Alright everybody, well as Moucheron and eventually JJ make their way to Ganon's Tower, there are 22 possible chests where this big key could be. Throw in some numbers, throw down some guesses. Maybe you'll get right, maybe it's your lucky day. You can win the prize of congrats from us and maybe some pride.
Yep, and knowing you were right.
Let's see here. I'm gonna go with the rando room. I'm feeling the rando room.
I'm gonna
like
go
14 or
with
15.
I'm gonna go with the torch.
Ooh, torch would be fun. I'm gonna go with 12. I'm feeling a 12, I think. Moucheron going the right side. I gave him the key. He's gonna go with it.
Interesting play. We shall see how this ends up.
Alright,
Because
like...
if it ends up being left side, this might be quite fatal.
It looks like JJ went in to Ganon's Tower about just 30 seconds behind, so this is a super
This is tight.
JJ going left side, so this could be huge for how this finishes. And totally messes up the counts and predictions as well.
Basically, yeah. We have a map. We have a compass. We have
wow, you were right, you called
Stallion.
it again. JJBlu is taking the lead with a torch big key. That is insane.
Damn.
I'm pretty sure you've had more right calls than misses this game, so you should do this for a living.
Moucheron's not gonna be happy about that.
No, not at all. Luckily, I mean, he didn't have to go too far down on the left side, but that's crazy.
Yeah, this puts about a minute behind. Which isn't insurmountable, but is just pretty bad luck. But honestly, this is still anybody's game.
Yeah, you never know how these guys are going to move here. How Ganon's going to go. So many things could happen. Could take a fall to Troll Dorm 2. This is going to be a good finish.
So anyone who called 7 or 3, depending on which player you were following, has won. You got the big key right.
You did it. If anybody said 7 and 3, I will give you $1.
I will give you a cookie, but you have to come pick it up. So I hope you live somewhere near Vancouver. I'm surprised Moucheron's being a little liberal with that magic.
Alright, quick work of the snake guys. I forgot their name. I don't know why.
Oh, you mean Lanmola?
Yeah, Landmola. I don't know why. I don't know why their name just left my mind.
JJBlu with a nice fairy drop there. Helpful. Moucheron also making very quick work of Lanmola. Only a few rooms behind.
According to chat, we're still at about a 30-second difference. I mean, you can do anything in 30 seconds. Anything could happen.
Honestly, a fall to Moldorm 2 could absolutely make this race.
You know, it's like overall, this seed was pretty straightforward. It kind of led you to not too many options. Wow, JJBlu got really close right there to falling off.
Yeah, that was a little worrisome, but JJ not having too much trouble
Wow!
there.
Checks the validation chest and gets a half magic for his troubles. That's why I always check that chest. There's one potentially useful thing, I will always check the validation chest. And that makes Ganon way less stressful because a fire rod only with no half magic can be a little bit stressful if you don't have potions or you're not good at managing.
So we'll see how Aga 2 goes. JJBlu, not perfect so far, but still doing okay.
Yeah, Moucheron can make up some time here if he gets a couple good hits. Not the best layouts JJ's getting.
Nope, lots of triangles.
Oh, real close to triple.
There's a double. But Moucheron opening with a double.
Wow, this is not going great for JJBlu. This should be his last hit, I think. No, he still has more.
This is intense. For sure. Oh, JJ
Okay.
finishing.
Down for
And
JJ.
Moucheron just
Wow.
behind him. That's less than 10 seconds, folks. That is not a large difference.
This is going to be a crazy Ganon fight.
Yep. All comes down to Ganon.
Which I've seen people get 4 hits on Ganon in the time it takes me to get 1. So anything could happen. This is still anybody's match.
Absolutely. If either of them falls, it's over.
And the gold
5
sword makes
seconds.
so fast.
Yep. If one of them manages a double, if one of them falls, or if one of them gets hit too many times and has to drink a potion, just anything could determine this right now.
We're both already on phase 3. Looks like JJ is about 1 side ahead.
Yeah, it is nice that they everyone gets the same Ganon patterns now, though.
True, it would have been a frustrating way for this awesome race to end. Oh, JJ
Oh,
misses the
missed
torch
the
glitch.
torch. Oh!
No, not like
And
this.
JJ falls.
Oh,
Oh
not like
no! This is gonna. Oh dear.
this. Man,
Oh,
I have no idea.
Moucheron sticks it out. Oh. Poor
Oh,
JJ.
that stings. But congrats to MoucheronQuipet.
Yeah, good job, Moucheron. That was a very close race.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Moucheron finishes with an official time of 1 hour, 45 minutes, and 21 seconds. Congratulations. JJBlu gonna get his Ganon's revenge. Oh, it definitely must sting. Maybe we won't tell him he was ahead.
Oh my goodness.
Nobody
No,
tell him.
he
He
won't
doesn't
have
have to
known.
know.
He'll know though, because
he was right there.
he fell on Ganon when he saw he'd just fallen on Ganon when he saw the dot done. He would know that it was stupid close.
Oh man, that stings. Well, such a great race from both of them.
Absolutely, just amazing that they both took so different routes and still got to Ganon within 5 seconds of each other. That's just nuts.
It really is. I mean, I can't even think of what they could have done differently to get ahead or find something faster. Really, the big gamble was going to ice when they did, and they both did it.
Anyway, let's see if SRL chat. And
JJ clocks in with a 1 hour, 47 minutes, and 17 seconds. GG to both of you guys. That was an awesome race to watch.
Hey, how you doing, JJBlu? How was your
see
race?
if they're interested in chatting with us for a little bit. Well, hey, if you guys like this race, if you liked what you saw from the runners, give them a follow. They did an awesome job. They were so good, showed off so much talent and technique and skill. While we're getting them set up, all right, JJBlu, GG, my man.
JJ,
hey.
GG.
Oh man, I already know that why I lost at that end. That was funny as hell to me, but sad at the same time.
You
It was.
guys went into Ganon 5 seconds apart. Just like simultaneous flying over to Ganon. It was crazy.
Oh man, I think he might have still beaten me by a few seconds when I fell, or maybe I'd beat him. I'm not actually sure, but when I fell, I just had this feeling he'd finish while I was coming back up.
Yeah, you guys took totally different routes through the game. Like, you each did like 2 different dungeons and then swapped places. And still ended up that close together. So, good job. Don't feel like you did anything wrong. You did amazing. You both did.
Moucheron, thanks for joining us. GG, congrats on the win.
Yeah, GG, JJBlu. That was close.
Yeah. Apparently we were 5 seconds apart, and I shot my fire rod, and Ganon literally appeared on my face, and I got knocked down.
That's bad.
So.
Sorry about that. What a seed. Hammer
game,
and
man.
Ice Rod are the two items I ate the most when they told me, and here it is.
So, what were you two thinking when you went into ice? Because both of you made that gamble. It turned out to pay off dividends because ice had two major items in it. How were you feeling around then?
Well, at this point, I was almost completely sure there was the hammer in Ice Palace. But I needed the Fire Rod or a Bomb Boss, and I couldn't find them. So when I did the escape, I was like, I'm doing something wrong. But Bomb Boss, when I saw that, it was Ice Palace or nothing.
Yeah, it's kind of the same general point. After I did the Dark World Carnival and checked Hera and beat it, I was pretty much assumed that I always will dive ice pretty much over a half swamp because I've had so many seeds where the hammer is in ice and the hammer is never in swamp for me. So
Yeah.
I was quite surprised when both of you left pod for quite late. So, since you both got the bow reasonably fast, you could have done everything but the ending of it.
Yeah, that's true, but we had no lamp and no hammer, so
That is true. I would very much like to know where that lamp was, because neither of you found it.
well, I guess it is in left side Swamp Palace. Maybe that's what I thought, and that's why I didn't went there.
The only locations I didn't check there where it could have been technically, I didn't check Mimic Cave. That technically could have been there. And I didn't do the Hammer Pegs, Smith, and Purple Chest. So I could see it being any of those.
We know it wasn't in the Hammer Cave or the Purple Chest.
Maybe
or the blacksmiths.
Could have been the big chest of Thief Town, maybe?
No, there's no items left in Thieves.
No more items in Thieves, so it couldn't have been there. It
I
couldn't have been
assumed it was
Desert.
in Mire or one of those spots.
At this point, it could have been in Mire. It could have been in either T-Rock's big key chest or Mimic Cave. Or yeah, that's all we can that's all we were thinking of at that point.
Yeah.
Because the only thing behind it was the book, and the book wasn't required for anything, so...
Yeah, that's a bit disappointing. But yeah, I didn't really care about the lamp. It was really a hammer on ice rods that I hate when I don't have them.
As a curiosity, how early did you go to the Mire area once you got the tier 2 gloves?
Too late. I should have gone there first before I did all the Dark World, but when I realized I was already in the swamp area, and so I went for Pyramid and Catfish instead, because without hammer you can go there fast. So I did that, and after I went to my area.
Yeah, I actually felt like I was behind in the Light World side because I did a few extra plays trying to be safe, and then if you had just went straight in with the flippers, you'd have gotten probably enough money to do Zora, but I went back up the mountain just to get the 300.
Yeah, money was an issue, but because we couldn't do Holy Room after we got the flippers, but it all went nicely after all. But yeah, I couldn't tell if I was behind or not because the hammer was in a dumb location. I did Ice Palace wrong. I got key locked, and that was bad. should have went left first.
Mm.
Yeah, so going into Ganon's tower, Moucheron, you were about 30 seconds ahead, and then went right side. And JJ did the first 2 chests and went straight left
Yeah.
and got that big key off the torch, and it totally flipped it to about 30 seconds the other direction.
Yeah, I wasn't so happy about that, but at least I got the magic powder. It's always useful.
Both of you decided to check the validation chest, and it paid off.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
laughed at that.
Yeah, I was expecting one mail or half magic, and here we are. Also, I didn't realize I had the golden sword before very long because I got it in the dark and didn't realize.
I kind of knew I had it right away because I had just happened to swing just to check. I'm like, yep, it's a sword. Continue.
Okay, so thank you both very much for that awesome race and such a clutch ending. And so I'm going to take this chance to say, please, everyone, go follow the runners. They're awesome. Follow me and Cool Pants Guy if you feel like it. And also, I believe there's another race starting up on Speed Gaming 3 shortly between Ben and Feral Pigman. And there's also the Open Weekly starting up fairly soon if anyone wants to jump in and try this game out themselves. And other than that, stay tuned for more Randomizer, which will be coming around all the time because this is such a gigantic tournament. And so this has been Flexi Bunny, and I hope you all have a good day.
This is Cool Pants Guy. It was a pleasure getting to commentate for this awesome race. Best of luck to you guys in your future matches. And yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thanks to you too for the commentating, and also a big thanks to the tracker and the resumer.
Yeah, without any of you guys, this wouldn't have been possible. Appreciate everybody coming out.
All right.